Hello everyone. We're going to get started here very shortly. I'm just going to wait for some people to get in. We're going to be doing not quite a normal review, but I'll be doing design reviews. So I was having major internet issues. That's why I'm a little bit later than normal. I'll get the chat up in a second. All right, I'm going to go announce this. At everyone, I'm currently live. Live UI redesign show. Send now. All right, there we go. All right, let me go back to my panel here. Pop out chat. How's it going, everybody? Yeah, Curry, or you in the general chat, you want to submit your things and review submissions. All right. All right, so let's get started. All right, so basically every Friday I do some sort of live show, and I go back and forth between doing live design reviews where you submit your designs, whether it be identity design, UI design, packaging, print design, whatever. You submit them in the Discord server in the review submissions page, and I did that last week, but this week it's going to be a little bit different than that. This time I asked yesterday so I could get some submissions ready for today for people to submit their designs much in the same way as before, except this time I'm going to actually redesign parts of it instead of just giving verbal tips. All right, and so if you submitted it and I do your design, I'm encouraging you to follow along as well. And not everybody else has to follow along, but if I'm doing your particular design, definitely follow along, and I can guarantee you I'm going to be making big improvements on a bunch of submissions. All right, so this live stream, as always, is sponsored by Skillshare. All right, you can see it on that little overlay that's permanently over there on the other side of the screen. If you use that code, you can get the first 2 months 100% free, and they offer UX, UI design classes, a bunch of on top of a bunch of other types of classes in business, finance, graphic design, illustration, like I said, UI, UX. And here's a particular course that's going to fit today's theme in terms of really nailing down your UI design fundamentals. And this is a course that you could take quite quickly just for free if you just take advantage of that offer over there. All right, so definitely sign up. So let's go ahead and I'm going to take these in the order that they were received, starting with last night. So the thing is, I may not get to yours depending on how many submissions there are at the end. But at the end, I am going to do a regular design review like I usually do if I have time left. And if you do want me to do your design review, then definitely send in a super chat like Andrew just did, like that awesome person called Andrew right there, Andrew Diz. And I'll get to it near after I do the redesign section. So Andrew and anybody else, I will get to yours, but it's going to be after I spend some time doing these redesigns in a sense. So thank you for that. All right, so I do have an account for myself on Skillshare. I just don't happen to be logged in right now. I actually have several classes there from a couple years ago. I'm going to be adding a new one within before February is over. Don't worry, I'll spam the channel with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The very first one that I received after my announcement, and by the way, guys, definitely go to the Discord channel. The links here in the YouTube description. It's free to join. You can idle in general. I'm there all the time. I'm chatting all the time. You can see I'm up there, denoted as God mode there. And there's a bunch of people, tons of people are in here, trying to get it to be more active even so. So anyhow, let's go to review submissions. Let me find out the very first one I received. Let's see here. I think it's, I don't want to go up too high because this was just for, sorry, I'm being a little bit slow. Okay, yeah, it's right here. Okay. This was at yesterday at 8:20 a.m. That was before my announcement. So I'm going to take the very first one, which is right here. Okay. So let's get this up. And by the way, I am going to do the rating thing too on these, where I have the rating animation. Oh, please work. Clash of Clans, top clans. This is one of the ones I was planning on redoing, but unfortunately it's not loading. And it better not be an issue with my internet. Hopefully I'm still here. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, there we go. Shoo. Okay. So here it is. This is his design. And the only part that I want to focus on is just this, the hero section right here, the main part that we have. So there's definitely things happening here that are incorrect. And I want to take a real quick moment to just do my own design interpretation of taking these elements and just overall improving this entire area. All right, so before I do that, let's do the rating thing. If we're only looking at this section right here, and we're going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the greatest thing you've ever seen. And again, take into account the graphics, you know, this, take into account all this stuff right here, and even the top nav bar. What do you think we should give this as a rating? Now let me get out the chat here. So what do you guys think? On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think this should be rated in terms of design for a UI design? And I have my, I already have my answer. All right, so some people are saying 4. Somebody said 2, 10, 2 out of 10. 4, 4, 4, 6, 5, 4, 3. All right, here's what I'm gonna say. 4. I'm gonna go with a 4 too. And we're gonna try to make that better. I'm gonna make that better. I'm gonna go as fast as humanly possible, and we're gonna be working within our Adobe XD. All right, so maybe I'll try to leave this chat up. I know there's a different way I can work with my area or my my streaming software vMix to get these, to get your comments always showing up on top of the screen, but I want to see them as I'm going. So let's do this real quick. So I have open here Adobe XD, Experience Design, UI Design Tool, and I'm just going to take and redo this part real fast as humanly possible. So that's going to require taking, first it's going to require getting our inspector out, Control-Shift-I. We have to get this image, the background image, and that is right here. It's in CSS. So I'm going to copy this URL, and I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to drag it to my desktop, and then we're going to drag it into XD. All right, so there was an area up at top of that design where, yeah, there was just some a simple navigation, and that's fine. I'm not going to really focus on that part too much, but I do want to take this this logo, and we're going to put that logo in as well, and this graphic right here. All right, and then we could see how we can improve this very quickly. All right, so I'm going to take both of those assets. All right. Now, first of all, this person had, let me get this down here. This section, there was a logo right in the middle, which is fine, but it doesn't really make too much sense to me if there's like a logo right here and then a logo right here. So I'm gonna try putting this logo right here real quickly, just like that. Get that kind of evened up in there. Also, their interpretation of this graphic right here, or right here, is it doesn't really align well. You have all this content right here, and you have multiple calls to action, and they're all the same. They're styled the same. We need to simplify that area massively. The Clash of Clans text is also, in the script, it's kind of hard to read. You see Clash of Clans here, and then you see Clash of Clans here. It's redundant a little bit with them being so close together. So let's fix that up. So first of all, we have our guy. We're going to put him right around there. You can see, by the way, if you're going to use this image, you can see it needs cleaned up. There's pixelation occurring and all that. You definitely want to clean that up. It's not something I'm going to do now. But for let's talk about our headline. So our primary headline is Clash of Clans, right? So we need to make this sucker big and very easy to read. And so we'll say, we'll make this white. And of course, I'm going to use Montserrat. Of course, I'm not saying to use that. I'm just, I like the font. All right, and then we're going to duplicate that. And I think he had like a sub-headline here. Yep, right there. Let's copy that. I should have put that inside of kind of like a text area. I forget what you call that when you drag it out. And we really need to separate this. I'll go regular too. And that way we create a lot of separation visually, aka visual hierarchy, between these elements. All right, so again, this is pretty standard stuff. And the part where his layout really fell apart is right here with all these calls to actions. And I initially thought this was a button, but it's not. It's actually a text area. So what we need to do is simplify that massively. So here's what I'm thinking of doing for this part. So instead of having all those out there, you could create, and you could do this various ways, depending on if you're using some sort of framework or whatever. We'll have a drop down on the left part right here where they can choose. This is UX design. It's a better user experience doing this, where they can choose a drop down allowing them to search by any 4 of these metrics possibly. And then there'll be a search button, a single search button, not to having these multiple search buttons. So we could do a text blip right here where it says, I don't know, player, and it's white, so it's not showing up. We could take our trusty pen tool, create just a quick down arrow, which this needs to be centered. All right, get rid of that. All right, and then real quickly, I will duplicate this. Sorry, I'm not really reading the chat right now. I'll come back to it though. And then hide that, and then we'll, oops, I hate this. Drag that in. There we go. And I take these 2 anchor points. And I want to style the drop down portion a little bit differently than the rest. So we'll just make it like a gray. Take this and put it underneath. Not sure if there's a better way of doing this. Either way, it does work. So I think you guys are understanding what I'm getting at here. To greatly simplify that entire area. And then we'll take this and duplicate it, and I'm almost done, by the way. And we'll put a call to action like right here. Something that's green. I think that's kind of what they used before. Right there, it seems good. And then we'll put in and center align it, search. So now that user can put a drop down. Sometimes the arrow is like over here, which, it depends, however you want to do it. And of course, make this white, make it larger, bold. All right, so now we've gone, we've gone from this, and very quickly we've transformed this main section right here, which was kind of just out of whack, to this, which is so much easier and much better on the eyes to use. All right, so that was the very first one. That's kind of a longer one. I'm going to try to go a little bit quicker on these other ones. So yeah, thanks for the submission. Let me check out the chat here. Make sure everything else is going on good. Andrew, we'll see. I need to check out, you know, what your submission looks like at the end. And, you know, some of the submissions that people submitted, I didn't really have enough justification to go in and redesign anything. I'm really just like making that specific to designs where I think there's areas that really need redesigned. Of course, I'm not going to do a whole redesign, but there could be an area that I could say, okay, this is what you need to do, and I'll do that. So just stick on by for that. So let's do the next one right here, but don't worry, I will get to yours. All right, so this next one, let's first do a rating, see what you guys think about this. What do you think this individual should get, just based on, we'll say just based on this part, forget everything else. What do you think this person should get rated from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, for this initial above the fold, as it's referred to as on desktop at least, landing page here? What do you think? I think I know what I'm going to give it. So some people are saying 4, 7, 6, 5, 5, 7. Yeah, I'll be checking the super chats. I'm going to see how many came in already. Okay, I had 3 so far. Okay. Yeah, don't worry. I'll get to them. Yeah. All right, I'm going to give this one a 4 again. 4. I'm just feeling 4. 1 second. Yes. I'm on live streaming right now, and I won't be over there till around 1 because my internet didn't work forever. All right, thanks. Bye. Yeah, that's my mom. She's watching my kids now for me, so I had to take that. Sorry about that. All right, so let's. There's a number of things wrong with this, and then we're gonna make this at least a 6 or a 7, just based on what's overall happening here. To make something truly like an 8, 9, 10, a lot of thought needs to go in it, more than I can do right here. So I'm gonna do a real quick redesign of this design right here. So this is the design. We're going to redesign it. We're still going to keep the same structure overall, but I'm going to do a number of things that are going to improve it very quickly. All right, so first we have that container. Now, the way the container is with this jagged area, I personally don't like it. I think it needs to be more simplified and have more, I just don't like how it's designed. So we could go a number of different ways for this. You could use Bezier curves. You could use, I think, even just something more simplistic like, that would be a little bit better than just kind of going crazy with a few different lines like that. So that's what I'm going to do for that. For the color, again, it was like a blue color right around here. I'll leave that there for now, although I may change it. And then what we're gonna do is get that like right there, because I do want to see your comments. All right, so next up, the one big issue is this thing right here. So we're looking at the background, and then we look at how this is designed with the colors of the monitor. It kind of clashes. There's not a lot of contrast, so this illustration does not work for this background color for certain. So we need to go for something that's different. I'm not going to design one. I think maybe I'll just go just to images.google. Of course, we're not going to use this. And if I type in like computer illustration, isometric maybe. Isometric is pretty nice. I like the feel that it gives certain illustrations. I'm not sure. I don't want this to take long, so I'm not going to sit here forever trying to find the perfect one. Ideally, you would design it yourself, and I do have tutorials on how to do like isometric illustrations for designs. Just trying to find something that's kind of relevant. And something that I could easily remove a background from. We'll just say, what is that? I'll just say this one. So I'm going to copy this. I have Photoshop open. I'm going to create new just so I can really quickly isolate the background. You can't do that with Adobe XD. So what is it in here, Photoshop? It's called the background eraser tool. Okay, that's not the right one. Oh wait, yeah, it's the other one. It's called the magic eraser tool. There, now I could just take this, one second. I'm going to take this, get rid of contiguous, make this like 2 for the tolerance. Oh, that's going to look like crap. Oh well. We'll try to get by. So now I'm going to hit Control N, Enter, and get rid of the background. I'm going to save it for the web as a PNG 24. And I'll just call this, I'll just put this on the desktop somewhere. All right. And then I will put it in here. Where is it at? The illustration. All right, now I knew that shadow was going to look stupid. But anyways, the point is getting a more unique, interesting illustration outside of just this. All right, so maybe I'll match the background to better fit this area. So there, that actually looks a little bit better that way. Then we can put our headline, our sub-headline, do you need a website? So, do you need a website? We're going to left align that. We're going to make it some color that perhaps fits with this overall theme, or it could be black. I should have put this in a draggable area, but that's fine. Take down this question mark. All right, and then next we'll put great. This is the right place. Sorry, I'm going so fast. I am not spending time to read any comments right now. We could probably make this a little bit smaller. So, looking at his type, we have like you're using the same color, but we're also italicizing it. I don't like that at all. And then this type is basically pretty much similar to this in terms of size, except it's not capitalized. So you definitely want to switch things up just a bit. Actually, we'll just duplicate this. All right, escape, put regular. Now we have separation on multiple levels. And again, this doesn't have to be black. This could be, you know, a different color. Maybe not quite that. You know, and it could still potentially work. I'll just leave that there. In fact, I kind of want to get rid of this. I'm your go-to guy. I think it's just going to put a call to action here, which his call to action is where learn more. Okay. Ideally, when it comes to ad copy, you want to try to use something a little bit more unique than that. And you don't always have to go with full corner border radiuses like that. You know, whatever you do, you just want to do it consistently throughout your design. And then we'll use some sort of color that really sticks out for the call to action. And then finally, We'll stick with learn more for now. Of course, we want this to be white to contrast maximum. All right. Oops, center it. And so this is just one way that you could take it. And so we're going from this, all right, to something like this, which I think is a better overall composition for the illustration. It may not be as completely relevant, but still, it's a lot more unique and it fits well. And you could do something different with this area too, like, you know, working in Bezier curves. You know, for instance, if you wanted to do something like this, and then just take this, you know, you could do this too and do it up there if you want. So there's a lot of different ideas. I don't like the jagged approach that this had, like that. All right, so take these ideas, go forward with them however you want, or you could say I'm completely wrong and discount me entirely. That's fine. All right. Okay, so let's continue on. We're already at 26 minutes. Who's up next? And don't worry, I will get to the super chats. I just want to do these initial ones here pretty quickly. Who's next? This one, change your day. All right, so here's another one. One problem I have is the logo. It's kind of hard to see. Balkan Days of Change. It's kind of hard to see based on that. I would maybe wrap everything in like a white container, like a rectangular container with a little bit of white or padding inside, and it would be much easier to see that. Also, there's actually buttons right here, English. That allows you to change the language, and you can't see them with this section right here. So what I would do for this is definitely, see how this shows up? And now you can see everything. Make that the default factor up here, because you can't see this otherwise. So just make that always up there, that white bar. Outside of that, this right here, this whole image, and the text is baked into the image. And generally, I don't think that's a good idea. What you could do if you wanted to have the person's head in front of them, you know, you could possibly have them as their own image with a transparent background layered on top. And then you could actually use real HTML text, like an H1 element for this area. Also, I think it's a little hard to see Let's Build Trust together because there's not a lot of contrast with the mountain background, so maybe just darken up the background. There wasn't enough for this one, this entry, for me to redesign it though. Everything down here is pretty solid. So what do you guys think this one should be rated? Just based on what you saw right there. I'm gonna get some water. So from a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, what do you guys think? Here's the other parts of it. Somebody said 9. Got some 7, 8, 7, 7, 7. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 7. I agree with 7. All right, cool. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. Now, Eduardo is a regular in the chat, and I did a review of his last week, I believe. So when I refresh this takes a little long, I don't know, maybe make it, I don't know, 10% faster or 15% faster. Otherwise, outside of that, anyway, this is pretty solid. We're not going to do a rating thing because I already rated yours last week. But I do think it's an improvement from what you had. So I'm not going to sit here redesigning any of this as well. This is all pretty solid. We'll do a rating thing. What do you guys think that he should get for a rating for this design? Someone says 8, 9.9, 10, 8, 9. last week, I believe. Let me get my thing over here. I believe he said I gave him a 7. Yeah, I gave him a 7 last week, and then he said he made improvements. So people agree. So I'm gonna give Eduardo. I think for this one, we're gonna say 2. I'm kidding. No, I would definitely say 8. I was just joking. I was trolling him. No, I would say 8 for this. Very good. Possibly even a 9. Give him a solid grade. Someone's mad at me. Okay, let's go on for the next one. So what I think we'll do, yeah, what we'll do now before we begin on here is, where am I at? Yeah, it's already been 30 minutes, so I need to mention my sponsor who makes all of this possible, by the way. Without them, I wouldn't be doing this. So Skillshare is a sponsor. You can get 2 free months if you click the link in the YouTube description. 2 free months where you can watch thousands of classes on UI, UX design, graphic design, illustration, especially this course that I'm recommending for UI, UX design fundamentals. And they'll have class projects too, which, you know, is interesting. It's better than just watching a video and then not doing anything afterwards. So definitely check them out. So let's continue on with the next one. Who is next? Going back here. Okay, new messages. Oh man, there's so many here. Let me come up. And don't worry, I will get to the super chats shortly. I think maybe after the next one or so. Days of Change, we just did Eduardo's. Here's one. I know this one is very good, so I will not be redesigning anything. This is just a dribble.com shot. Very solid dashboard design. This is very solid looking. I don't have anything really negative to say about it because it looks quite good. Breaking Bad, what an awesome show. What do you guys think this one should be rated, just real quickly? I'm gonna wait for some these 12. I'm trying to see if there's anything that I think could be improved. Yes, there is. So I'll mention after. I'm going to give it, people have said, by the way, yeah, a bunch of good scores here. I'm going to give it a 9. And the only reason I'm doing that is because right down here, let me move this over so the overlay doesn't get it. There's a strange gradient on going from this nice pinkish color right here, and then it goes to like gray or something. So that's the only reason I'm going to give this a 10. Also, I'm also not sure of the gray buttons up here. I don't know. Something's throwing me off. But that weird gradient right there is throwing me off a little bit. So no, you don't get a 10. It was good, very good submission though. What am I doing? Let's go to the next person. I need to get to the super chats just because people paid for that. So we're going to do that real quick. So the first person is Andrew Diz, who gave me $10, which is going to go towards my drinks tonight. Thank you very much. So I have to find his submission real quickly. Where the hell did Discord go? There we go. Right here. So let's find, what is it? ADI. I'm looking for ADI. There we go. Website. Just a note, there's no functionality been to the site yet. Thanks for your help. All right, thank you for the super chat. All right. Gary Simon. That's awesome. I'm on all the leaderboards. Okay. There's also Figma of dashboard. Okay, so there's the Figma is probably the same thing, right? I just want to be sure. And this is just the implementation of HTML and CSS over here. Yeah. Yeah, so that's cool. Looking at this, yeah, there's no functionality. That's okay. There is some function. I mean, the navigation works. All right, so all in all, a lot is going right with this as opposed to it, you know, just going wrong. Let me bring out the chat. Looking at this, there was a couple areas though that I thought could be improved. And it's very minor critiques, like this home, my Dex library, this navigation, right next to the logo right here. It seems like and this is so nitpicky, it's very frustrating. You know, these should be more vertically aligned, centered inside of this container. They're kind of down a little bit. You might want to push them up. You might want to push things out and spread them out just a tad bit more away from the logo, although, again, maybe not. That's such a minor gripe. Looking at one of these sections here, I would probably want to add just a little bit more white space in between here. And it's not much at all, but just a tad bit. I mean, things are looking solid, though, I have to say. And there's no way I could sit there and redesign any part of this and say that it would be better. Like my new element is like the padding right here on the first container. You want to get it right here next to the My Progress. But again, it's the same thing over here. Like this should stretch all the way out, and you could do that with CSS before and after, or no, like nth of type selector. You can do that with to remove it just on the first or last, or first or last pseudo selector. I believe you can use to get rid of that padding. But again, this is solid. So unfortunately, I can't do your redesign like you requested. But what do you guys think that this person should get? Andrew Diz should get for their redesign. A 1 is horrible and a 10 is the best. Five? What the hell no. Now this is solid though. All right, I'm going to give it a, usually I'm always rating things lower than other people, than what the chat says. But I'm going to, yeah, for a dashboard, I think it's pretty solid. So I'm giving it an 8. All right. Thank you very much for the super chat. Very appreciated for you to do that. Awesome. So, yeah, don't listen to those people in the chat. I'll do the next one real quickly, which is Blitteron Photography or something. Photography person. No, that's not true. That is not true. What is your Discord username? Because he didn't include it. I'll look for a photography username real quickly right here. Yeah, I don't see one. So I'll review yours once you can mention in the chat what your username is, because you didn't put your username in the super chat. My Discord username is Gary Simon, by the way. Okay, so we'll go on to the next one, which was Michael Peters. And again, Michael Peters didn't put their Discord username either. Michael Peters, thank you for the super chat, but please put your Discord username, mention it here in the super chat so that I can find your submission. The next one was Just Savvy for $2. Thank you for that. They put the website there so I can quickly review it. All right. Just scale this down a little bit. Okay. So looking at this, it definitely a dark user interface. All right. So what I would like to see is more contrast between these elements, like the dark element right here, the dark element up here. There's like it's all black up here. I mean, on this bar, but there's not enough contrast between its backgrounds. So what I'll do is change that background color to what I think would probably be more suitable. So the background color is very dark, as we can see. Even just going up just a tad bit to that, I think makes a big improvement, and it does. So, and of course, it's throwing this other CSS off like this. That should be the same color as the background. There we go. And then this line becomes a little bit too dark. So the border will change to like that stroke. So now everything you can see quite a bit more. You'd want more white space beneath this section, and you don't want it so close to here. So this is, someone said the heading's too small. I'm not sure what you mean exactly about that. If you mean the header up here, it's fine. It's fine to me. The logo's fine. This is pretty fine. You might want to push it over more. The latest news, yeah, this could be a little bit bigger, but it's still not too bad. So what do you guys think this person should get for their rating? Again, there's not enough wrong on this one for me to sit there and redesign it. Go ahead and let me know what you think. Somebody said 10. Are you sure that's not your submission? Oh, I'm going to refresh it though. I mean, because this is what the original was. It's real dark. I think that background needs lightened up for sure. I'm going to say a 7. Yeah, a 7. All right, cool. Let's see if anybody else responded with their username. I asked somebody to put their username. What is your username? And there was 2 other people who sent super chats. Michael Peters and Blurron. Michael Peters. Oh, there we go. And where's the photography person? Not there. No. Oh well. Okay, so let's continue on. I'm gonna look for Michael 555 or whatever it was. There we go. Let's check out this one. Okay. If I click projects, nothing happens, and it's just this. Okay, so this leaves us with just this content to work with. So I think this should definitely be altered to make it more interesting. Let me see if this user provided me with any more information. I've only done the design. It's okay. Okay. So you definitely want to, if this is all, I'm going to assume that this is all that you had planned for this to go. I know it's not complete because you can't click on projects, you can't click on hire now, and you can't scroll down. But I'm just going to assume, make the assumption, just for teaching purposes, that this is what you planned on having for this design of this main part right here. So one thing that you're getting right is simplicity. One thing you're getting right is white space. So that's pretty good. But I think for you to try to pull off this type of layout, you need a little bit more content. And you need to work on your ad copy as well. The welcome, it just says welcome. Nobody cares about that. They want to know, more importantly than just being greeted, they want to know what you're what you are. What is this page about? This more accurately answers that question. So I would put, I'm a front end developer, and make that the primary information, that a person would, want to see and learn about. The avatar view right here in this whole sidebar, I think is pretty unnecessary. I mean, you could do it, but I think there's too much. You're giving this too much space. Like this is what, almost 33% of the browser space. So that should be compacted more. And your avatar doesn't really contrast well or enough with the background with this gray. So I'm not sure if I would want to sit here and just try to redesign for so few or so little content. Let me get out the chat here. And especially the projects and hire now buttons, they're both competing with each other. Oh hell, I'll do it. Let me step into Adobe XD real quickly. And by the way, if any of you want me to review or do any type of real quick redesign, if your design needs it, send in a super chat by clicking this button down here. Yeah, this super chat button right here, and then you can send one, and I'll do it before the stream ends, okay? So again, super chat right there. And mention your Discord username and submit it in the Discord server. The link's in the YouTube description. All right, what the hell? Let me get that back up. All right, so okay, again, this is what his looks like. I'll ask everybody to rate it afterwards. But first of all, okay, so I'm a front-end developer. Can't see it because it's white. Already, I like that. I like my font better because I really like that freaking font. All right, maybe we could put like a little underscore here, just to simulate the JavaScript type effect is going on. And I'll keep the same structure here. I think I'll just design it a little bit differently, and we'll still keep, that's around the color that this individual had. I would get an avatar that's perhaps white, like that, and then we can take, and I wouldn't put Michael555. I mean, like your username, like put Michael Seymour. What if that was really your name? That would be nuts. All right, so we'll put your name here, and then you have two links right here, right? Projects and hire now. That wouldn't make too much sense to me to put there. You would want to put that underneath this part, like, right here, and you need to prioritize one over the other. So I think hire now would probably be more important. Oops, like that's ultimately what you want somebody to click on, right? So hire now could go here. We'll increase it slightly, and not too much. And then this one could say projects. And you could put icons in there. I'm not going to bother with that. And you can emphasize one over the other through multiple ways. Like you could take the stroke width up up a little bit like that, and then right away that kind of is giving more importance to this. You could get rid of the stroke and just give it a color. So you had a blue color in there. Why isn't that showing up? Oh, there we go. So you had a blue color like that. Then we could make this white, contrast better. And there we go. So over here we go maybe other links. Like say something like home, projects. You could have the hire me, but don't put so much emphasis on it over here. You'd want to do something more simplistic like home, and not centered, by the way. I hate when people do that. My work, or just keep it consistent and say projects, maybe a resume, contact, hire me, something like that. And then just style it like maybe left align it, take it down like that. And you can create separation a little bit more by doing something like this. We'll just duplicate this, bring it down to right around here. I'm almost done with this, guys, by the way. You could go like, I don't like that. We can go a little bit darker. There we go. And then if you want to emphasize which area a person's currently on, we can just do this. Something like, you know, I mean, you could take it a million different ways. This would have to be white, but I didn't set this up correctly. But yeah, something like that, ultimately. So we're gone from this, to that, which I think would be a more solid approach. You can still do the typewriter effect, but I would get rid of the welcome. So what do you guys think that Michael should get for this design, just in and of itself? Yeah, and you would want to put other stuff like social media links. That's important, like LinkedIn especially. So through a 1 through 10, what should this person get? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. 0 of 10. No, no, no. I will give it a... No! I did not mean to give it a 7. I'm sorry. You got all excited probably. Hold on. There better not be something wrong with my software. It's giving him a 7. It's all screwed up. I meant to be a 3. Yeah, definitely a 3. It could be improved quite a bit. Like if you did this and put in, you know, your avatar thing here and made that, I would definitely bump this up to like a 5 or a 6, especially if you add some more stuff like, like social media icon links and maybe adding a little bit more, maybe a scroll indicator right here, you know, where you can go down, add some subtle animations. You could definitely boost it up a lot more to 7 or 8 or whatever. So let's continue on. So I don't have any more super chats. I don't think that person ever gave me the photographer person gave me their, I'll go check real quick in the Discord server. Who is okay. All right, so who is next? I can't even remember who I did next. 1 second here. From this list right here. I think it was. Oh, here's a photography one. Maybe it's that one that they had that sent me the super chat. I don't know. We're at 53 minutes. We'll be concluding shortly. If you do want me to do your design review / redesign, just submit it in the send a super chat by clicking the super chat button right here. And mention your Discord username. You could put it up to $500 if you want, but you know, any amount will do. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this one. All right, Mirko, you didn't mention your Discord username. Assuming you wanted me to actually do it, Mirko, make sure you give me your Discord username if you want me to do a design. Thank you for the super chat anyhow though. Okay. So, $500 for more drinks. Yeah, I'm not in New York City, fortunately, so it doesn't cost that much. Looking at this, I'm not going to focus on this area right here. This definitely needs improved, though. For this part, like this button especially, the Big Book Now button, kind of just stuck in between this area. you need to separate those out big time and think of a different color for this. Also cursor pointer so that it changes. But the area I want to focus on this one is right here. Oh, you don't? Okay, well thanks a lot just for supporting Mirko. Thanks a lot. So looking at this, when somebody enters a website, and this is more to do with the user experience as opposed to the user interface design. They want to know what's happening. Okay, so we do have a logo. It does mention quite small, it's about photography, but it doesn't give them anywhere to click. It doesn't give them anywhere direction. There's no hint. The only hint they have is the scroll bar itself. And on a mobile device, you don't have that scroll bar really. So you have to give them somewhere to go. That could be as simple as, the simplest way to take that approach would be to have a sizable scroll icon. It looks like I'm circling this kid's butt, but somewhere down here, like a keyframe animation of a scroll icon going up and down. That will give somebody a hint. But I think even better than that, if you can, especially if you can, it makes sense to put text over this, like a headline, and maybe an area for like a button to like call me or hire me or something like that. So real quickly, I will step into XD and we'll change things up just a little bit. So I'm going to take this person's image and there's a URL pointing to this JPEG right here. So I'll take this, we'll put it on my desktop, exit or go back here, and then we'll drag it in here. So I'm just going to do this super quick again. Okay. And what I will do is take the background, make it black. We're gonna reduce the opacity of this image right here to right around there. Now they did have a, let me get rid of this, a nav bar of sorts up here. So also a menu on a full desktop resolution, it just requires a person to click extra, so it's bad for UX design, for user experience, because they have to click once just to see, and then they have to click these. Definitely list these all out when you have the amount of space to list them out. So doing that, if I come down, take this, go super quick. It was like a desaturate. It was right around there. I might also make it lighter just so there is a clear separation between this darker background image and there. You have your logo over here, you know, and then just put out, you know, very simple. It could be just home, about, services. I'm just coming up with fake ones or whatever, just to give you an idea. And you could put those all out because you have the space. And then collapse it into a collapsible menu further on. So this could be a little bit bigger too, by the way. So you have that there. And then I understand you probably don't want to overlap the individuals too much, but you could still see them pretty well. Like say some sort of catchy subheadline like, I don't know, photography that matters. Whatever that's supposed to mean. Something like that. And then capturing moments. No, a full service photography business. How stupid. You definitely want to come up with better ad copy than that. And you could do the alignment, it doesn't have to be centered like this. In fact, I may not even do that. So if I just left align this, bring these over, I might even like this better. And then You could have a scroll icon still, maybe not centered aligned because this isn't centered. But give them somewhere to click, you know, like I said, like a button of some sort. And it's up to you if you want to, you know, take the stroke route. Hire us or our work, our photos. That would be better. Not like that though. No, screw it. I'm just going to do our photos. All right, so take this down. And that just gives somebody a clear direction from which they can go. So I think that would make a lot more sense than simply having this and then nowhere to click. Definitely want to work on this bottom part now, but I already helped up here, so I don't have enough time. So what do you guys think this person should get rated based on this? A scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I know, title case, title case. Four, 4, 4. Oh, my head's completely on top of this chat. 3, 3, 3. I will say, crap, that button isn't working, I just remembered. I'll do it manually on my thing right here. We'll do cut. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to give that one a 3. It could almost, yeah. I like this thing down here, but yeah. All right, thanks for the submission. What is it? It is an hour already. Did any more super chats come in? No, they didn't. I'm gonna do one more from one more regular one, and then in the meantime, if I don't receive any more super chats, I will conclude. So I'm just gonna do one more, unless somebody sends a super chat with the super chat option right here. Just mention your Discord username. So let's. Oh, and before I do that, because it has been an hour, I'm going to mention the sponsor, which is Skillshare.com. You can click on the link, the overlay over here, to get 2 free months, 100% free. And you can watch thousands of classes across UI, UX design, graphic design, illustration, etc. I'm going to be putting courses up here as well shortly. And I definitely recommend this course, which is pertinent to the topic of this particular live stream, which is UX and UI's Design Fundamentals course. All right. So let's go ahead and continue on. Who is next? Next up is... Why does it always like just push me up somewhere else? Oh, next one is Raj Paul. Figma. I don't think this actually ends up working, because if I click it, it takes me to Figma, but it requires me to join or something, so I'm not doing that. And then this graphic right here, I don't even know what this is. What is this? If I try downloading this. Yeah, I can't even open this file. I'm sorry. Sorry, Raj. You're going to have to get that up on a normal website or something. Who's next? Is Malik? I don't have Sketch, so I can't open this up. I'm on Windows. We'll do this one real quickly. It's a Discord bot site. Again, there's not enough happening here for me to really critique much of it. Let me scale this down. We'll get back to chat. And yeah, Jesus Christ, are you kidding me? Yeah, so if you click on like FAQ, is there another navigation that comes up somewhere? No. So that's a really bad thing to do. Like you click on commands, it just goes to commands.html, but there's no way to get back to the regular navigation. So what you should do when you have multiple pages like that, instead of just only putting them in one place. Just putting them up in like in a nav bar somewhere or a sidebar if you want, so that they're always accessible. So that's definitely a no-no in terms of the UX design of this. This background and stuff, like I said, there's not enough here for me to really redesign it too much. So I'd say, yeah, it's not even worth rating it either because there's just not enough here. But looking at this design and stuff, the colors are okay. They seem to work. We got some white space padding. That's good. But yeah, just get that fixed up and make it more into a traditional landing page. Go to Google, type landing page inspiration or landing page galleries, and try to gather inspiration from that. All right, redesign Corsetra.com. You know, there's like an old thing. There's this guy that I knew who was like an expert paver. He did like awesome, intricate driveway pavings, but his own driveway just sucked ass. And it's just like, I think that's the case with, no, my site doesn't suck ass. I won't say that, but it does need a revamp, and I'm going to be restructuring things soon. What does my site even look like? I haven't been on there for so long. Corsetra.com. Now, of course, this is monetization. I hate the look of ads because it throws off a design so much. But, you know, it's making me a decent amount of money having these ads. Oh, look at this awesome card design. That's great. This should be pushed out, though. There should be some padding from these little icons. And then I got ads all over the place here, which they're a good money maker, you know. Way too many. This should be limited to like no more than like 3 at a time. But yeah. So yeah, that's the last of the reviews. It's been an hour and 6 minutes already. So I will be doing just a regular design review next week, next Friday, and then we will. Outside of that, it's been quite a while since I've released an actual premium course. So I'm going to be releasing one by the end of February at the latest, and it's going to be multiple hours, and it's going to be based on Adobe XD and really diving into the UI design stuff. I did just release a free UI design crash course, which you should check out, but it was like an hour and 38 minutes. But this is going to be so much more in depth. So hopefully you guys will support it. I'll probably put on Udemy, a Skillshare. It's going to be dirt cheap, of course. Yeah, so just look out for that. All right, guys. Awesome, thanks. All right, for those of you who helped submit to my drinking fund, thank you very much. I only have like 2 margaritas, that's it. Beer jacks up my stomach. I've become such a lightweight in my older 35-year-old age. All right, I will see you guys later.